My advice is to stop sacrificing the potential for wealth and abundance just for some temporary security. You know, I see people every day, I know them, I was one of them, where every single day you get up in the morning earlier than you want to get up. You put on these clothes half the time that you're not even comfortable in, to then go through traffic or go through whatever public transportation system you're going through, to go into an office, to do work that you don't want to do, sometimes work with people who you don't want to work with, working for people who don't respect you and sometimes are not even qualified to be your boss in the first place, right? All because of this sense of security that you have from being there, right? When the truth of the matter is that if you were willing just to take one small risk on yourself, just one small risk on yourself, you don't even have to quit your job, you know, but what if you decided that maybe 2 or 3 nights a week, you're going to go to a course to learn about a new skill set? Or what if you decided maybe for a couple weekends in a row, you're going to go maybe study so you can get a license in something? For me, I did that. That's how I got into the insurance industry, was I went on a weekend to I believe it's a Holiday Inn hotel. It's one of those hotels, I think it's Holiday Inn, up in Gaithersburg, Maryland, sacrificed my weekend to learn about insurance. You know, what I had to do is I said, you know, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to spend some money out of my pocket, spent a couple $100s out of my pocket, and I did what I need to do because I realized that the sense of security that I thought I had from my day job, while sure I got a check every 2 weeks, I was sacrificing opportunities for abundance. I was sacrificing my freedom for a sense of security that wasn't even real. And how I realized that sense of security wasn't real was one day when I came into the office, and as I'm walking in, one of my friends is walking out holding a box of his things. And it's a security guard walking behind him. He had been there for probably 5 years longer than I'd been there. And I said, where are you going? And the security guard said, keep walking. And he just turned back, he turns back to me because he had to keep walking. And he says, I got laid off today. You know, is that really secure? Is that really secure? You know, and what gets me is that when I talk to people and I say, hey, have you considered starting a business for yourself? You know, everyone who works within National Care Financial Group, they all are individual practice owners, right? They all are independent business owners. And sometimes you'll interview people who are incredibly talented. They've got tremendous potential. And you're talking to them and you say, I know you can do well. You've got the right network. You're intelligent. You can do really well in this and you have a desire to help people. Let's go ahead and move forward. And you'll hear people say, I don't know, I'm scared to take the risk. To me, it's more of a risk to sit in a job living a life that you don't like than it is to make a commitment to yourself, to invest in yourself, to create something different for your future. Let's take the money off the table. Let's take off the table that really one of the only paths to wealth in this country is through being a business owner. Very few people become wealthy through getting a W-2, meaning through being an employee. So let's take that off the table. What about just the risk of knowing that you spent your entire life contributing to someone else's dream? You spent your entire life sacrificing your desires. What about that risk? What about the risk of being on your deathbed and looking back and knowing that your only claim to fame was that you collected a check every 2 weeks? Really? But you're scared to take the risk to take a weekend course to learn something new. Sometimes it's about readjusting your priorities, because if you look at things differently, sometimes just a little bit of a different mental perspective helps you to see, you know what, perhaps I'm taking a greater risk by holding on to this stability. Because by holding on to this stability, I'm really sacrificing not just my freedom, but I'm sacrificing the ability to truly create the life that I deserve to live.